All right. We can call the meeting of the Public Property and Law Enforcement Committee for March 25th to order. Can we get a roll call
Lauren Negro,
here?
Brad Ray,
Here.
Mike Stark,
Here.
Laura Miranda, Ron Stendor excused.
All right, we made quorum by one. Sometimes it's the small things.
Okay, Lori, can you let the record note that we do have a quorum?
Okay,
Approval of the agenda.
Mike Stark, I'll make a motion. We approve the agenda as submitted.
Brad Ray, second.
We have a first by Mike and a second by Brad to approve the agenda. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Next is public comments. I'm not seeing anybody here. Is there anyone online for public comments? Is there anybody online for public comments? Is there anybody online for public comments? Seeing none, there is the next agenda item, approval of the Public Property and Law Enforcement meeting minutes from October 30th, 2023.
Brad Ray will make a motion to approve the minutes.
Mike Stark, second.
I have a feeling I'm going to be hearing from you guys a lot tonight. A motion by Brad and a second by Mike to approve the meeting minutes. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. That's approved. Next is review of the quarterly financials.
Those are in the packet online.
Is there anything that needs to be highlighted in there?
No, everything actually looks pretty good. I mean, we're 1/3 through the year and the major expenses are less than 1/3, so.
Third or less.
But
Okay.
on this is the contract to do all the work on the courthouse here. Is that included in this?
No, this is Sheriff's Department only.
Oh, okay, only sheriff's. Department.
Okay. All right, anybody have any questions? Brad? Okay. Seeing no questions with the quarterlies. Next is courthouse maintenance update. David.
Right, Dave has some family issues. Actually on Easter, he'll be a new daddy. So, so he is busy dealing with that situation right now. So construction on the building is scheduled to start on the 1st of April. They'll be bringing scaffolding down here and setting that up. So that's going to take about 2 weeks. And then they will start doing work as weather permits. So you'll see scaffolding around the building for the next months.
Are they gonna scaffold the whole area or are they gonna just shift it where the scaffolding is?
I believe they're going to I believe they're going to shift it because, yeah, I think so. But they'll be doing like, a quarter of building at a time probably. And then move around. And they will be tuck pointing the entire building. They'll be fixing the roof problem. And that should hopefully take care of all of our water leaks.
Is there gonna be any needing to alter the doors used during that construction if they're up front? Are they gonna not want that front door to be used or?
No, all the entrances will stay the same.
Okay.
Yeah, and in fact, it'd be very difficult for us to change. Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a new nighttime custodian starting on Wednesday. So, so that will be coming up.
Still part-time position?
Still a part-time position, 25 hours a week. This guy has a lot of experience doing it. He seems to want to do it, so.
Is there a name with this person?
Yes,
Your quiz.
Lori, what's the new guy? Brian Gore?
Brian Gore.
Really?
He works for Excel Energy.
I know he does. He's one of my volunteers.
Well, there you go. So then you know.
I know him. He's a great guy.
Okay, well, that's even better to hear.
Excellent.
Yeah. So also, like I said, Dave is going to be a new parent soon. He will be taking 3 weeks of paternity leave off starting Easter or April 1st. So we will be down to just Brian at nights during that time period. So, but we're excited to have somebody new start. And that's really all Dave had.
All right. Next, we have Brian up for the Sheriff's Department report.
Oh, microphone, please.
I'll start off with the patrol information, year to date, arrests 75, citations 195, complaints to investigate 180, calls for service, a total of 1,547. Last quarterly meeting we had was, you can see those, was arrests 59, citations 77, complaints to investigate 140, calls for service 1,048. August to October of 2023, arrests 82, citations 149, complaints to investigate 182, calls for service 1,779. So we're a little up right now as far as calls for service compared to November to December. It has been a busy year as far as our overdoses are up. We're almost to our maximum amount of last year. It's gotten worse in this year, I would say. We can continue on to Jill or,
It would be nice to have a breakdown of like which areas some of these calls for service and such were in, so we could see if there's a certain place where we're having a higher uptick for arrest citations and complaints, et cetera.
yeah, I could, like, as far as townships.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can do that on next meeting, break that down to,
And then with the jail population, could we get that broke down into city versus county kind of charges? is that-
I'll have to look into that. I'm not sure if I can on our system.
A
I-
summary of what sort of offenses like we got at our annual jail would be nice, even if it's not city versus county, if it was just
Yeah,
like the general, failure to appear
Yeah.
versus, grand theft auto or whatever it would be.
Okay. Yeah, I can look into doing that.
and then you were talking about overdoses and stuff, if we could have data for that on there too?
Sure.
Okay,
I mean, we have several pending, but so far what we believed, I think it's around 7 or 8 now. I think we had total of 10 last year.
yeah. Otherwise I have a question.
Okay.
I've heard that we're having people vaping inside our jail.
Okay.
I thought for Health and Human Services that we had pushed something through that was kind of an addendum to our smoking policy where there was no vaping in any of the county buildings also.
We have something with no tobacco. This is nicotine. They're doing it around the state in jails. As far as I know, basically around the state, these companies for jails are, selling it, pouches and vaping. We had started that, a month or so ago. I've checked in with, or had Jen, the jail captain, check in with the state as far as any guidelines that we can't do it. She said no, Like I said, around the state, several jails are doing it. The reason why we chose to go through this program or start doing this is because obviously our main issue right now is the first 2 weeks of incarceration of anybody that's withdrawing is horrendous. We don't have any other program like Suboxone. We started yet. This helps tremendously. Our infractions in jail by admits has gone down huge by allowing nicotine. It's safer for everybody as far as the behavior. We've noticed a huge difference. I can tell you as far as there was some startup costs when we got started. We started ordering around 225 quantity wise. After paying off the startup fees this month, I think we're up, let's see, $1,036 in revenue. We project if we continue doing this, based on what is being sold so far, we'll make $17,719.20 around there approximately every year. If we continue doing this, like I said, it helps us. This withdrawal program is the hardest thing. That's why other counties won't take our inmates, because withdrawal is so bad. We struggle with that when I don't have employees, and we noticed a huge difference. I'm researching the vaping a little bit. Like I said, I haven't heard anything from the state. Jody Hauser, she's a state inspector. Nothing we're doing against the law on it, unless the county feels otherwise. But like I said, we notice a difference. I think there would be probably more side effects with the Suboxone program that we're going to start in April than what we're doing now. But we're hoping, like I said, this revenue will help us pay for the modifications of our jail doors in the future. I'm sure that's still struggling to find a contractor, but I'm personally going to take that, make that my task to look into that so we can get that jail structured the way we want it. But this would help us get that done, I think, instead of asking the county for money. We're still looking for grants as well, but.
Here's my concern. Doctors are saying vaping is worse than smoking. So if someone was smoking, but the only option they have while they're in jail is vaping, and then they start doing that because we didn't offer cigarettes, we offered vaping. So when does a lawsuit come back on us that somebody started vaping while they were in jail and it caused them cancer or whatever? That's my concern.
Okay. And I get your concern. I think it's something we can research more as far as a liability form. That, like I said, I'm researching the vaping too. I'm more leaning towards just the pouches, but the vaping, what things we have are safe for the jail, the way they're made and set up, or they can't be used as a weapon either.
Okay.
And they're tracked with who buys them. But like I said, I mean, I think, yeah, we can say that for most things prescribed in the jail prescriptions as well. But we can sign a waiver for them. Like I said, I mean, we're starting a Suboxone program that's probably, that'll help us alleviate some of this addiction issues we're having, but.
We get a doctor that steps up and says, I prescribe this while they're in jail.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I just have a concern because it's one certain path. And they're already saying that the vaping is worse than what smoking is. So where is our liability, or when do we get looped into whatever other counties it is, that this is the only option we offer?
I would argue that if they're already addicted to nicotine and they switch to vaping, that there's going to be no way to distinguish if vaping or cigarette smoke caused any issue. People get it from secondhand smoke where you don't get that from vaping. And so I think it's a great idea. And if it's helping with some of that withdrawal symptoms from nicotine, I'd say keep going. I think it's great.
Thank you.
I would hope there'd be a more positive way to go with it, so.
Well, like
And I
said,
still think that at HHS, we did push something through for no smoking or vaping in any, that kind of dovetailed on that in any other building or any county buildings.
Hmm.
So,
Well, we can certainly look into the legality of liability wise with, our corporate counsel. But I highly suggest you experience a 2-week first withdrawal of any addict, come sit in our jail. It's pretty horrendous, what we experience daily, going to the hospital every day. And it's usually, several times with one inmate that makes a trip to the hospital. That's very financially extensive when you're experiencing this with every inmate. The withdrawals, I mean, we try our best to make it as best we can, providing Gatorade, the dehydration, the anger issue, like I said, it's extreme, making it safe. Like I said, in our last jail visit, trying to accommodate and make these doors happen so we can have single cells, so the danger goes down for the jailers when they're in this, state of mind. But I can certainly continue to research it more to make sure, liability wise that we're good, but like I said, I recommend you come visit the jail during some of these withdrawals, and I would be glad to call anybody to come witness it. But we've noticed, like I said, the infractions of violations of inmates has gone down tremendously, to alleviate that, what we go through.
I appreciate it. You want to go ahead and go on to the jail administration report, if you guys don't have any questions?
Sure. Year-to-date, number of bookings, 261. Daily average held in facility, 38. Daily average held on monitor, 11. Daily average boarded, 5. And total daily average is 54. Last quarter, bookings, 261. Daily average in facility, 38. On monitor, 11. Boarded, 5. Total daily, 54. The transportation breakdown of mental health was 2, juveniles 3, warrants, wants, and miscellaneous 11, transportation total 16. Hours of transportation 357.75, mileage traveled 8,993. Boarded inmates 4, inmates of monitor 7, inmates by race, January to March. Native American 52, Hispanic, or that would be 37.70%, Hispanic 1%, African American 5, 4%, white 77, that would be 55.80%. And unknown 2%. Like me to continue into Matt's program?
Do you guys have any question on that part? Sure, go ahead.
So the last meeting, Terry Barningham, the jail captain, myself, and the chief deputy had with the state was they actually increased our amount again. They figured we would need more. That went up to, for that grant, the opioid abatement efforts grant, that went up to 228,000. We're projected to start that April 1st. I'm not sure if that's going to start April 1st or not. I haven't heard any updates as far as that award being sent. Did talk to Terry Barningham. We're going to have interviews next week for the peer support person that would basically be working in the jail, helping administer this. As far as whatever, they choose to do, whether, what methadone, Suboxone, whatever, peer support is going to assess them, help us administer it so our staff isn't taken away from other inmates. It's something huge that we're excited to have. The fact that we have an interview and some possible candidates is great, but I believe that's next week. We're going to sit on that interview and hopefully hire somebody, which will be full-time. And I believe they increased that amount for us because the fact that we may have to go, if someone chooses methadone, we're gonna have to go to Duluth. I mean, basically overtime possibly, and we would have to transport. because that's where the methadone clinic is. The good thing is that assessment is one time, and then the rest can be done via Zoom, I believe, after that. So anybody that chooses to do the methadone for a clinic in Duluth. So, but I believe that's why they might increase that amount more that we're getting. Any questions, or I can continue on to Christina Swankowski is on vacation. Can explain the emergency management report or what's going on.
Any questions? Go ahead, under emergency management.
So everybody's aware of our joint dispatch merger, which we believe could possibly happen in August, right? So with the grants we currently have, that helps us basically buy all the equipment, help them make the merge happen. And the other grant of that is to give us a database system for dispatch, so we all are under one, which is called Flex. Basically, that's huge. It put us ahead of the game with that second grant as well, as far as us be able to do that between both counties. One other thing, we knew we had a goal we thought would be a longer out of being able to combine our infrastructure of towers. Bayfield County is on something called WISCOM. It's a higher megahertz, more secure. The whole state's going to it. Eventually, the state's gonna, within 5 to 6 years, they think up here, make everybody be on this system called WISCOM. We're not in Ashen County. So through this joint dispatch merger, they wanted us to make it a goal to get to that. And we thought there was a state grant coming up soon that would help us start that process. But within a week and a half ago, Mark Allison contacted me and said, hey, there's some federal appropriation money. It's due the 24th. So we had to rush within a week. Well, I started it. Christina happened to be out of town on training for a week, her and their emergency management over there. So I kind of coordinated with them, started calling other counties that got this federal money. That was this is going to be federally appropriated through Tammy Baldwin's office. Went on their website, learned about they're using this for many things, not just one specific. I noticed Door County on there and Burnett County did what for infrastructure. Last year was awarded it for towers and radios. So I called them, picked their brain a little bit, got some templates, and learned a lot of what we should go for. And like I said, I really think this one grant alone, if we get it, could put Ashen County leaps and bounds ahead of not having to pay for this infrastructure thing. I mean, I didn't expect to do it for this fast. Christina got it submitted Sunday, yesterday, and we're requesting around 3.5 million, which would help us basically get ready for WISCOM for all of our towers, our Butternut Tower, Mellon Tower, we won't have to do Mellon, our east, because Mellon's, there's already a WISCOM tower down there the state uses, like State Patrol and DNR. We'd outfit Bad Rivers Tower to east and the city of Ashlands. So basically, we can always get service. It's not neglected in most areas we need it at. We're getting a propagation map study done where it'll show us our weak areas where we need signals. But basically, and then we included in there our radio upgrades to make it happen. Some other newer radios we included in other agencies that don't have these radios to be on this WISCOM. And then we threw in there for each fire department, like I believe Christina threw like three new radios and mobile units for each fire department in the county, to help them out with this as well, if most of them are ready on it for this WISCOM. City of Ashen, PD and Ashen Fire are already ready for this WISCOM, so we didn't have to request for them. The only thing we're going to do for them is, like I said, I'll upgrade the tower for the Ashen as well. So we can all have this service. And hopefully this will, like I said, putting one in Ashland, will reach out farther to Madeline Island so they can, and we'll have the East Tower, which is kind of on the lake as well, which would support Madeline Island as well when we all go to this WISCOM. I don't think we'll find out till, I'm assuming next fall. It takes a while before they determine how much money you get, or if you get it and how much. The counties I talked to, I think they received what they asked for. They said they wish they would have asked for more, so they kind of said aim for the moon on it, so you're structurally sound on your county. So I hope we get it. I think it'll help Ashland County where they don't have to pay for that in the future. And we're excited. We did a lot of work, and I give Christina a lot of credit. I kind of did the beginning stages when she got back. Then we all ran with it, and Bayfield County helped us as well. So their emergency management over there. So we're excited for that, and that's as far as much I can explain for Christina. I know she has a bunch of other things going on, but she's been networking very well. I'm happy to say where the program is going, the best I've ever seen it. So, and she gets a lot of help, like I said, from Megan Quater over there in Bayfield County. So, as far as being a mentor for her, so.
I just want to clarify, it's not a grant that we applied for. It's a direct appropriation.
Oh,
So, yeah, it's a congressionally directed appropriation, so it would actually be in whatever appropriations the Congress makes. So whether or not we get it, of course, depends on, well, the normal congressional stuff. So I would expect that we're not going to see anything until next year, because I don't believe Congress is going to pass a full appropriation until January, February, when a new Congress sits.
we got put on the pet project list. I like that.
Yeah, it was.
It's a good project. I mean,
We did it fast. This came out in January. We didn't know about it. So I'm glad Mark told us in Bayfield County. He said in a week and a half time, there was a lot of work calling all these businesses to get quotes or approximate numbers of what we would need. So.
awesome.
And to add maybe tomorrow more report, I forgot to mention earlier, as far as we applied for another grant, we believe, sounds like we got it already for a drug grant, which would pay for another squad car that Chief Deputy Delegan had put in. Sounds like we got it. We didn't get as much as we wanted, but so many people put in for it. This, basically, he applied, Nate Delegan applied for this and requested the amount for a canine squad, because it's drug related. So given we have that donated money, we want to start that soon, but we wanted to see if we'd get this money. Given over the years, we were so behind on squad cars, we didn't want to increase our budget too much. So that's why we went through this new grant, and it sounds like we got it. And is that, we don't have a formal letter, but there's an email that kind of mentioned it. So that will help us as far as the vehicle squad situation tremendously. We're not requesting more. We're trying to get caught up on this vehicle thing. I mean, this enterprise saved us because the county was so far behind with squads. I believe we needed 8. I mean, you don't ever want to get that far behind. I mean, but in the end of the day, I mean, I think they want to make money too. I think maybe we should go back to owning our own vehicles, so we can get what we want for them. But right now, it's the best option for us. I'm not saying we won't stay with them, but Nate's pretty good at breaking down the numbers on that to see. I mean, right now, it's what we have to do. But so we're trying. That's why, like I said, he went for that grant to help us get there closer, where maybe we can walk away from enterprise someday if it benefits us more. So that's all.
Okay, any questions, guys? All right. Jail space issues, number 11.
So this is the result of the jail tour you all took. And the the space issues you guys saw. So this is not really an action item, it's more of a discussion item. Because obviously any solution would have to go through in the county budget. But it's better to start discussing it now, so it's on everybody's radar.
Well, like I said earlier, our immediate fix right now is to fix those doors. I'm gonna kind of task in that right now, or I know, Jail Captain Carroll has started trying to find contractors. It's been difficult. I'm gonna reach out to a few more sheriffs to try to find somebody, a fabricator for those doors. Long term, I guess not grant, the federal appropriation money, when I looked on there of the awards from 2024, I mean, a lot of volunteer fires are building fire departments. You name it, they're requesting money for a lot of things, roads, highways, this appropriations money, if it continues. I'm almost interested in trying for that of maybe a jail upgrade in the next go around, if it still exists. I don't know if it qualified, but like I said, I didn't see anything saying it wouldn't. I mean, everybody was applying for something different around the state. The one thing I learned from the other counties is nobody knows about it. That appropriations money, they're like, we didn't know. I was like me, last minute. Somebody told me so. But like I said, I mean, we for sure that jail is just, it's not working how it should. It never has. Like when we gave a tour, I explained everything. Having those segregation cells when they're coming in off withdrawals, I mean, it's so hard to work with our jail because we don't have that. So hopefully, like I said, a little more research on that appropriation money in next go around. I'm more than willing to try for that. But that would take a feasibility study from one of these companies that builds structures for government, which we have several contacts for that.
I believe we have an agenda item that goes with that.
But these companies as well, like I said, they do entire government level. It's not
Yeah.
just jail. Like I said, if they wanted to do a government building with everybody combined, they would look at your needs and assess it however the county wants.
Mhm.
It's just a matter of picking a company. I know there's 3 in our state, I think. One in Wausau, one in Milwaukee, and there's another one.
There's a bunch of them. I have the cards from WCA.
Okay, good, good. So you got Samuel's, Venture, and then one more, I can't remember.
There's more than that. There's some
Yeah.
from just over into the cities too, and
Yeah.
there's a bunch of them will do this. A lot of the contractors have
Mhm.
pieces for it too, so.
But like I said, the temporary fix right now, I think we can do that. I'm gonna reach out to more sheriffs as far as those doors and, we can get some more segregation cells going on. We're still down a couple jailers. I mean, that's, hopefully we don't lose any more female jailers. I mean, there's some that have been looking other places, but we'll have to board again. And I don't know how many counties will take us. We might have to go farther away. They'll take our good ones that aren't going through withdrawals. I've talked to Bayford County, said we'd be more than glad to take your good behaviored ones, but the ones that are withdrawals and, where it's a challenge, we'd have to find another county. The last county we used was Violus, and they recently told us no if we get stuck in that situation anytime soon. So we may have to go further, check with like Burnett or somebody, but.
Any more on the space?
Nope,
Issues?
for me.
Okay. There is a staffing agreement for the jail. Is the next agenda item.
And that's something Captain Gapero needed written up for, I believe their jail inspections with the state. They gotta have that on file. Of who they have and whatnot. She just requested that the board sign it, look at it, sign it.
Oh, just, this is on the county board agenda for tomorrow too.
I'm assuming what's up there is what kind of is in the budget already in terms of
Yes.
staffing, right? So, yeah, this is just saying, here it is,
Yep.
yeah, so, you need a motion then? Brad Ray will move to approve this to send it to the county board.
Mike Stark, second.
Thank you. Um, We have a motion by Brad and a second by Mike to approve the staffing agreement for the jail. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Next one is a letter of agreement for humane officer.
This too is on the county board agenda tomorrow.
So basically, Kelly Hyde was our humane officer. She's hoping to retire. She still works for City of Ashland right now. But as far as replacing, she had a replacement for the county, Ashley Bard. So she had kind of, I believe, got some, business funding locally, started up her animal control business. She did a lot of legwork of starting a contract for us to look at. We modified it a little bit, what you have. Corporate counsel did that for us. So we're just requesting that be signed to make her legit for our animal control officer. Well, then we are still using Kelly Hyde's kennels for boarding, or Ashley is, I should say.
Is this really similar to the agreement we have
Correct.
place? Because I haven't seen that
Yeah,
document, so that's, I wondered how
It's the same.
different, obviously then things can change, but was there anything new that wasn't in the old one that we should be aware of that's different?
No, it's pretty similar, like changing names. We might have added a couple. I don't know, what's, we said corporate counsel. I believe they kept it the same, just changed the names.
It's not something we have to like solicit, like other people bidding out on this. This is something, because it seems like we're just appointing this new person to take it over. And is that within the realm?
Yeah, that's correct. You're just, the sheriff and the county board are appointing a new humane officer.
She's not an employee, she's actually an independent contractor.
Right.
She
Okay.
bills us. No.
No,
No.
no, it's an appointment.
Microphone, please.
I just asked if it needed to be posted and asked for any of you people. Is there a reason why we don't work with the Humane Society, the Schwamigan?
I guess I've never ventured into that. I mean, I know it was mentioned between Dan and I, at the time, so we didn't know what, Kelly Hyde would be doing. At the time, this girl was already an employee of Kelly, and like I said, really did a lot of legwork in getting a business loan and, locally. And had herself insured and whatnot, and came in and showed me all her paperwork. I was kind of impressed, so I says, well, might as well, she's an independent contractor, provide all her insurance and liability. And the vehicle insurance, and it says, good enough for me, just update me every quarterly with your, verification of insurance and whatnot, so. I'm not sure, the Humane Society would do that kind of work for us, but.
It's on the county board, agenda for tomorrow. Who signs this? Is it, Brian, or on behalf of the county?
On behalf of the county, I would have Chairman Poofall sign it. I would have Chairman Poofall sign it. I want to point out on this second to last page that the agreement goes to December 31st, 25.
Yeah.
So we do have options to look forward, see if the Humane Society is capable of doing this. and what they would need to do it.
Yep.
We could always not renew the agreement.
Yeah, I just didn't, I mean,
Yeah.
offhand, I don't know if these are like good rates, not good rates, or because the market's kind of cornered because it was the last person had the next person, so. And- Huh?
I would think that the rates, I mean, $60 a visit seemed really reasonable,
Yeah.
actually, so I was thinking, and it's mileage, it's basically more than we pay, county supervisors, so I think the rates are really good.
There's a
Did you
lot of
guys?
calls.
I did have a question of, does that date of February 15th, 2024 need to change? For us to approve, because
That's going-
technically, if the county board is approving this, it will be the date the county board approves it, and even though it might already, because I think the signature from the other one was not until 23rd, yeah, it was a couple weeks after, so. I don't know, I guess we could retroactively go back to the,
You
that
can
too.
also, offer an amendment to make it that date, from the date.
Well, has there been any work done by this person that would need to be reimbursed, that would not be reimbursed because we have not voted on it because the
Yeah. If She,
county board not going?
she signed it on the 23rd of February.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's the problem as well. Like I said, she has done work. This was kind of a last minute deal with our prior animal control. She was an employee,
Yeah.
so I mean, she's still, like I said, she's independent. She can still wants to submit us. We just want this. We wish we'd had done earlier, but it was last minute.
Mm.
And
Well, Brad Ray will move to approve this to send to the county board tomorrow.
Mike Stark seconds it.
Any more question, guys? Seeing none, all those in favor of sending this on to the county board, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Oh, space needs study. Anyways, so with the jail space issues, I've been pushing just basically because we know all of our departments have space needs and issues and things. HHS came to us with an intriguing. Anyways, but having updated space needs designations for the people we have now, the population of employees that we have, some in-house, some out-of-house, all of our different facilities is important. So I think it's important we evaluate all the different departments and all of our buildings, and then be able to peck away at it as what ones are critical needs, because they'll, like Brian said, you can give them guidelines, here's what we want to do, here's what we want to look at, and then go from there. But I think putting this to the county board and getting someone looking at all of our different buildings, it's like doing a capital plan. It's just taking care of our facilities. And then we can make plans as a county board.
There is $50,000 in contingency for this.
Is 50,000 even gonna get close to what we need, though?
I don't know, Madam Chairman, we were talking to people about it. That seemed like a reasonable.
It was a reasonable amount. It's an evaluation. They take some measurements, they talk to department heads, they talk to different employees and workers and what their needs are, and then they go through what they see and mock it up. But it can include also our everything from our heating and cooling and pipes and such in every one of the buildings. And then they also look at the age of them and recommend a replacement schedule on these also, so they can do a presentation and we can have, have them talk about what they think is most important and
I still kind of feel that we should have, that each department chair kind of give us what they think they need as a starting point to see, as a task, as opposed to going out there, because things will change 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road even. But I wonder how valuable a $50,000 investment is long-term. Because it's not like we have money to do much of this stuff right now. And so can we Band-Aid approach it until we have more money to do this sort of thing? That's where I kind of come from.
if we don't have a plan for, and these companies can do projections also, and the first thing they do is talk to the department heads. But they take it and they map it into a realistic costs, critical needs and such. Is everybody gonna be working from home 5 years from now? Are we gonna need this many people? Are a lot of things gonna get converted over to electronic? They'll know the trends. It's having somebody, I mean, Brian knows what kind of needs he has in-house because it's a little bit different, but when you're dealing with people that are using computers and space and whether we're using paper or not paper and stuff, it's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of different angles to take into account, and this is what they're paid to do. And if we have that plan,
Were we did we ever hire the grant writer that we tried to hire?
The job is posted. We've had one applicant who's not qualified. So we're gonna have to talk executive committee. How do we want to address that? Do we want to increase the pay? Do we want to widen our search to multiple states? We already put the job as remote eligible. Try to get people from Milwaukee and Madison to apply.
Because I would see that having a tool like this, once you have a grant writer to say, hey, we have this need, and then go chase money, it kind of lines up. But if we're not able to hire that position, again, I worry that who's going to take the lead on implementing this? Who's that going to fall to? Back down to the department heads that they're going to say, here's what the space needs study is. Is it going to be the county board? Is it going to be Dan? How is that going to work?
Ultimately, it's gonna be everybody in this room.
I was gonna say, overseeing of all the buildings and property is our committee's task.
And at the sheriff's trainings I go to, these companies will do a presentation with usually all the higher ups, and they basically coordinate. They can always sit down and listen to us, but if we hire them, they coordinate everything. I mean, they'll do their backgrounds with every department. I guess, I don't know if you're asking do they, you get that answer before you pay them? Is that what you're asking?
No.
Well, and a lot of these do have access to grant writers themselves too and help shift that cost.
Companies like MSA, who do road construction mostly, they have in-house grant writers. So you can pay for that $5 million road project.
Because what's cool is they don't care where they get the money from. And they'll help you get the money so you can do your project.
I can tell you any decision, if you make a decision today, it would not go to the county board until the new county board seats. Because the agenda's already out for tomorrow and the next meeting is the new county board. So it wouldn't go till then, or you could wait till the next PPLE meeting. It's up to you guys, or you can do whatever you want.
I know Laura's been pushing on this, and I've been hesitant on it, but in order to at least move it on from committee, I will make a motion that we request the use of $50,000 for space needs studies from the contingency fund to the county board.
Actually, would go to finance first.
So
Yes.
to finance,
Right,
to-
because we're
to-
spending money.
Yeah.
It would go to finance first.
If someone's talking, we need a microphone, please.
I'll second Brad's motion.
All right. Thank you, guys. There's a motion to request the $50,000 or up to $50,000 for a space needs study. To
Go to
move
the
that
fin-
onto the finance committee.
Correct.
Motion by Brad, second by Mike. Any more discussion? You guys are sick of this already? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Next meeting date. Yeah. Thoughts, discussion? I heard.
Don't have my vacation fully planned out yet, but it could include that date.
We can do it tentatively that and then figure it out.
That works.
Okay.
Someone wasn't using their microphone, so I don't know what date you were looking at.
Yeah, we're looking at June 24th.
Brad was just quiet. So tentatively, June 24th, 5 PM.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, and now we're to adjourn. If you guys want to make motions, that's fine, but we reached the end of the thing, so I think we're done. Thank you, guys. We're adjourned. 5:53.
Thank you.